This one is demonstrating the COUNTIF function. The example is tracking absences, so we type in equals COUNTIF, then select the range of where we're counting the absences, then put comma, then A in parentheses because we wanted to count how many times A appears within the range. Then you can drag it down from the little green box in the corner to fill that in for the rest of the employees. You can see if someone is eligible for a bonus, so we have to see if they exceed $40,000 in sales. So we type equals if, then select the data piece we're looking at, which is the sales number reached, then put the greater than symbol, then put 40,000 without a comma, because commas are for different parts of the function. So we put a comma for the then part, and we put in quotations yes, and that's telling it to display the word yes. And then we put another comma to the else statement. So it's like saying if this, then this, or else this. So after the comma, we put the word no in quotation marks. So it'll display no if they did not exceed 40,000. For the second part of this, if we want to calculate how much of a bonus they can receive, we can use the if function again. In this case, we put if, then select the data piece we're looking at, then type equals yes in quotations, comma, then you put in the equation of multiplying the amount of sales made by the bonus or 8%, which you can just click on the cells that they are in, and then comma for the else part, and then put 0 in quotations, because it will display 0 because there won't be a bonus amount. And you can drag that down and fill it in for the rest, and make sure to change the formatting to currency. The next is a super basic concept of a payroll table. This is to demonstrate doing equations and being able to fill those in for the rest of the table. So first we're going to multiply the employee's hourly rate by 1.5. This is because hours worked beyond 40 get time and a half rate. Then we'll get the gross pay by multiplying the employee's normal rate by 40 because of the 40 hours worked. Then closing parentheses and adding that to the overtime rate times 5 because the amount of hours they worked over 40 hours. And then we'll see the total amount they'd earned before deductions. So you can see here I'm doing the total gross pay, so I'm doing the equal parentheses, then I'm taking the gross pay, and I'm adding it to the overtime rate that they're going to get, and then there you go, and then we can drag that down for the rest of the table. Now to see the amount that gets taxed, we take the total amount they'd get paid and times it by the tax percentage, so such as times 10%. And you can just put in the percent symbol and it'll calculate it. And then there's the taxes owed. And then lastly, we'll subtract that from the gross pay to get the net pay. Next here is just an example of calculating leave balance. Very simple. So just equals to start the formula, then parentheses, then select the cell that has the total leave available, minus symbol, then select the cell with the leave to use, then close parentheses, then drag it down. So with the example of finding the average salary per department. So you'll select the data range, then go to data, then insert pivot table in a new sheet. Then you can customize it how you'd like. In this case, we'll drag departments to the rows section and salaries to the value section. Then we can change the value field setting to calculate the average since it automatically shows the sum of it. And there you go, you can customize it how you need to be, and it takes the headers of the table you make in the previous sheet as the reference. Here's another pivot table example to show you that you can customize them. If you wanted to see how many women and how many men are in each role, for example, for making sure no gender is underrepresented, you can edit the value section. Instead of showing it as count, you can go to the change value field settings again, and not in the summarize value as tab, but rather in the show value as tab, and then select a percent of row total. Then it'll now show the percentage of gender in the different roles. So you can edit it and add stuff to it depending on the questions you want answered or the report you need to make. And now V Lookup. So in this instance, if you want a table that just has the employee's name by their ID. So over in the second table, you will start the V Lookup equation by typing equals V Lookup. Then you'll select the cell that has the employee ID in the other table. Then that's the lookup value. And then put a comma, then select the whole table where you're searching for that information in. Then another comma, and you count how many columns over the information you want to display is and put that number. In this case, the employee name is right in the second row, so we'll put 2. Then you close parentheses, and it'll fill in John Doe being the name that corresponds with ID 101, and you can drag that down and it'll fill it in. And that's it for this video.